Welcome back, ladies and gents. My name is Byron Davis. For those who want to get caught up on exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video, please go review my previous video where I cover the broad aspect of everything that has went on and how we got to where we're at right now. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about a magistrate in the Williamson County Magistrate's office who, at a minimum, committed an ethical offense, but potentially committed aggravated perjury. Prior to telling you about that incident, it's important for you to understand how it got to the point of her making the decision to file a false report and lie in that report. In the last video, I tell you about Mary Prendergast, about how she lowered bonds because she felt as though the bonds were too high, which wasn't true. The bonds were set based on TCA. Mary Prendergast and several others in that office set bonds based on their personal feelings, not based on TCA. That's another reason why these pieces of garbage needed to go. Mary Prendergast did go. She wasn't reappointed. To give you a brief rundown of what took place there, Mary Prendergast believed that a magistrate on the night shift set her bonds too high. She told her she believed she set her bonds too high. The magistrate on the night shift told her that she didn't set her bonds too high and that she set her bonds based on TCA, which is what you're supposed to do. Because Mary Prendergast had gotten away with criminal behavior for so long, and because Williamson County refuses to hold people accountable until people like me get involved and don't give them a choice, she lowered the bonds the next morning. She took it upon herself to lower the bonds. She lowered one, which was an aggravated trespassing, from $20,000 to $5,000. She lowered another one, which was disorderly conduct, from $1,500 to $500. Now, we show you that documentation. We show you where the warrant says one thing and the bond docket sheet says another. And then we show you the indigency form with Miss Mary Prendergast's signature on it, proving she did bond docket that day. We also show you the law she broke, which is altering or falsifying government documents, because she knowingly did it. She knew it was illegal. She'd been at the county for over 20 years. She knew it was illegal. She did it anyway, and she did it intentionally and knowingly. So she should have been charged. She wasn't. What Miss Mary Prendergast did led to a Tennessee Bureau of Investigation search warrant on the office, which is pretty dead blame embarrassing. A magistrate's office that issues search warrants to law enforcement had a search warrant conducted on it by law enforcement. That is pathetic, but it happened. Miss Anna Nairn, who is very good friends with the toxic Miss Mary Prendergast, decided that she was going to file a retaliatory complaint for the exact same thing against this night shift magistrate who did her job based on what law said. So that's what she did. She accused her in this complaint of changing bonds. Miss Anna Nairn and everyone else in the office thought that it was this magistrate who is the one who sent the information to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. It was not. I was the one who took the information to my lieutenant, who then forwarded that information to the district attorney, who then forwarded the information to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. But because they believed that she is the one who did it, the retaliation and the harassment and bullying was amped. It had already been taking place because they didn't like her in there because she did the right thing. She was responsible for taking down corrupt individuals, multiple corrupt individuals. A total of 4 either resigned or were forced out, were not reappointed. So Miss Anna Nairn files this report. In this report, she states that this night shift magistrate changed the bonds. If she believed that this magistrate was responsible for submitting this information to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, knowing that it was illegal, would it make sense for her to do the exact same thing just a few weeks later? It's pretty dumb. That's how dumb these people are. People like her don't think 3 or 4 steps ahead. They think in the moment, and they don't think about the repercussions. That's what idiot criminals do. And that's what these idiot criminals did, which is why they kept getting either removed or forced to resign. But criminals, once again, don't have many boundaries. And criminals do things that are illegal, shady, corrupt, unethical, immoral, which is why our governments are cesspools of corruption. Because good people try to play by the rules. Good people who try to play by the rules get screwed every single time. She submits this complaint to the Tennessee Board of Judicial Conduct, which is pretty much worthless in and of itself. But in this complaint, she states that Miss Lisa Carson, the county attorney, told her that what this night shift magistrate did was unethical, but that she wasn't going to file the complaint herself. So when this night shift magistrate received the complaint in the mail, because any individual has a right to face their accuser, she read through it, was like, what in the world? This did not happen. And come to find out, it didn't happen. She did not alter a bond, and the warrants wasn't even served. And the Tennessee Board of Judicial Conduct immediately dismissed this case right off the rip. They didn't even do an investigation. They looked over the paperwork, saw that there was nothing there. They knew it was retaliatory because the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation had just conducted a search warrant, so they knew it was a retaliatory complaint. Now, when she read through this complaint, she saw where Miss Anna Nairn stated that Lisa Carson told her that what she did was unethical. So the magistrate picks up the phone and calls the county attorney, Miss Lisa Carson, and says, hey, just letting you know, this is what was put in this complaint. Miss Lisa Carson immediately told her, I did not say that. Matter of fact, I've never even talked to her about this case. Again, criminals know very few boundaries, and idiot criminals, dumb criminals, don't think multiple steps ahead. That's what took place here. So Lisa Carson actually did the right thing and sent over a letter to this night shift magistrate stating, and I'll put the letter up here, stating that she did not say that. And as a matter of fact, she never even spoke with Miss Anna Nairn about this. That in and of itself is an ethical violation. She blatantly lied in an official complaint to the Tennessee Board of Judicial Conduct. At a maximum, that is aggravated perjury. She knowingly made the accusation in writing during an official report. When I began coming forward with this information, I went to the government, Lisa Carson, and the county commission, the mayor, as many people as I possibly could, and said, listen, this is what's going on in that office. And they knew about it. Lisa Carson knew about it since 2019. I told you this in the last video. She's known about a lot of this stuff since 2019. Now, every bit of this stuff that I'm telling you about, Lisa Carson knew about most of it, if not all of it. The issue is that they just wanted to sweep it under the rug. They just wanted to ignore what I had to say. Lisa Carson, whenever I started putting the heat on her, pawned it off on the new DA. The new DA has no clue what is going on. It is not her place to do anything in this situation. Could she? Yeah. Should she? Probably. But she just got appointed DA just I believe it was literally a few weeks before Miss Lisa Carson sent it over to her. And whenever she was an ADA, it was still the 21st Judicial District that included Williamson County, Lewis County, Perry County, and Hickman County. So it wasn't uncommon for her to be in court in another county. So for Lisa Carson to pawn it off on her was unprofessional, because it's not the DA has no clue. The new DA, Stacey Edmondson, has no clue about any of this trash. And then Lisa Carson pawns it off on her instead of just doing the right thing and having it removed. Now, whenever we started bringing this information forth and went to the commission and told everybody about this and started sending out public emails and started going public with this on social media, Anna Nairn saw the writing on the wall and she resigned from her position, just like others before her did. I don't know if she was told to resign or what, but it doesn't matter because she was immediately hired by the juvenile justice system doing the same job. When you lie like that, when a law enforcement officer lies in testimony, they can be impeached and charged with aggravated perjury. It's no different for a judicial commissioner or a magistrate or a judge. It's no different at all. Much like a law enforcement officer, if they get caught lying, their credibility goes out the window. And every warrant, every single warrant that they write from that point forward can be called into question by the defense. It's no different for a magistrate. She got caught in a lie. She got called out in the lie. Therefore, every warrant she writes can be questioned by the defense. Reference Brady v. Maryland. But this government doesn't want to do anything to these people. You still have people in that office who are doing trash like that every single day. I'm going to do another video, a separate video on Mary Alexander, who has filed multiple false reports. She has committed multiple felonies. And she is allowed to stay in that office. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the issue with our government, with the good old boy system in Williamson County. They don't want to do the right thing. They want to protect one another. You have that two-tiered justice system. You have the supervisor in there who has allowed multiple people to be arrested for offenses they did not commit after it was brought to his attention that orders of protection were not being taken out of the system. He ignored it. It happened for months. Matter of fact, I talked to an officer today who said it's still happening. It's been almost a year and it's still happening in Williamson County. People are still being arrested for crimes they did not commit. When the feds come knocking, maybe they'll do their job. Guys, if you want this to change, you have to get involved. I can't be out here trying to do this on my own, because you have people like me who are speaking out about this trash, but we all have different focuses. We all want to focus on government corruption, but we're all kind of alienated and have our own agendas, right? But you have individuals out there who are doing the right thing, and you have conservatives who want to remain the silent majority. You can't keep doing that. Guys, you have to get involved. This is going to continue to happen if you don't get involved. Start making phone calls and start sending emails. It is your problem, guys. It is your problem. It's only a matter of time before someone that you know becomes a victim, if it hasn't happened already. For so long, conservatives who consider themselves the silent majority have said nothing. And look where we've gotten as a society. Because you have corrupt individuals, and it doesn't matter whether you're left-wing or right-wing, you have corrupt individuals on both sides of the aisle and in the middle, because they know you're not going to do anything about it. They know you're not going to organize and start asking for people to be held accountable. If you want people in Williamson County to be held accountable, you have to start sending emails. Every single person that watches this video needs to send an email. And when people in the morning, any day of the week, wake up and have hundreds or even thousands of emails from disgruntled citizens in their inbox, that's when things are going to change. That's when things are going to change. Some of you are already doing it. Thank you for doing that, because I've actually had people reach out saying, hey, so-and-so with this organization wants to speak with you. I've actually had a couple commissioners reach out to me. I had another woman reach out to me today saying that her friend is commissioner and that commissioner wants to speak with me. So we're making progress, but we have to do more. We can't be the silent majority anymore, guys. You have to send emails. If you watch this video, take 5 minutes of your time. Go on the county commission website, which is the Williamson County government. Find the email that you can send. It's just one link that you can send an email, a mass email to every single commissioner. And voice your concern about this. I have showed you the proof. I'll show it to you again. I'll even put up Miss Mary Prendergast's proof. We have documentation on all this crap. Miss Mary Prendergast resigned. Anna Nairn resigned, but then she was hired right in the juvenile justice system. She does not need to be in the juvenile justice system. She does not need to be signing juvenile petitions. She doesn't need to be doing anything in the criminal justice system. When you breach the trust of the public like that, you should never have the ability to serve in the criminal justice system again in a position of public trust. Much like whenever a law enforcement officer does something that breaches the public trust, their post-certification should be ripped and they should never have the ability to serve as a law enforcement officer again. You have to get involved. Once again, if people wake up on Monday morning with 2,000 emails in their inbox from pissed off citizens, that's the only time things are going to change, because then they realize that their careers are now at stake because they've got emails from disgruntled people, and now they know that they may lose power if they don't do anything about it. We can't worry about other governments, guys. All we have to worry about, we have our own share of problems in Williamson County, Tennessee. Big problems. You have problems with the good old boy system and people sweeping it under the rug, and we're just not organized. The overwhelming majority of people do not support that crap. The information that I've put on social media has reached hundreds of thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands. And thousands have commented. Thousands have voiced their concern. I mean, I love to hear it. Email the county. I'm going to put the email up so you can see it. So you can send an email to every single commissioner in one click. You type up your email, you hit send, it goes to every single commissioner, including the mayor. I care about my county, guys. And I wasn't even born and raised here. I was born and raised in Murray County, south of Williamson County. But this is where I set my roots. This is where my youngins go to school. This is where I'm at now. This is where I have worked. I have served this community, part of Williamson County, as a law enforcement officer. And I care about this county. What I also care about is equal justice across the board. And you don't have that right now in Williamson County. You don't have it in a lot of counties, but we can't worry about other counties. All we can concern ourselves with is Williamson County. And guys, we have to get these individuals out of this magistrate's office. I want you guys to understand this also. When I was a canine handler in the narcotics unit at Spring Hill Police Department, we had 2 investigators and 2 canines. We avoided Williamson County like the plague. And that's where the majority of our population was at in Spring Hill. The majority. We avoided it like the plague and stayed in Murray County because we didn't want to deal with the incompetent magistrates at Williamson County who they literally, guys, they kept score on how many warrants they could deny because they hate law enforcement. They hate law enforcement. So they would just deny warrants just so they could get a point and beat the other magistrates in the office. I'll put that up there. The stars that show they were keeping score. That's it's Andy. It says Andy on there, but it's Miss Mary Prendergast. I'll show you that. Franklin Police Department does that. Brentwood Police Department does that. Fairview Police Department does that. Williamson County Sheriff's Office does the same thing that Spring Hill continues to do. We avoid the Williamson County Magistrate's Office like the plague because we don't want to deal with the disrespect. We don't want to deal with the incompetence. The people in that office are incompetent, guys. The supervisor has less than 4 years experience. He could argue all day long that working in the juvenile detention center is experience. Guys, that's not experience. He's a supervisor in a position where people's lives and freedom are at stake. And it shows. He is absolutely pathetic at his job, and it shows. You have an individual in there right now who we're going to be doing a video about pretty soon who has just consistently lied, and he catches her in lies. The Franklin police chief has sent over emails to the supervisor trying to get things hatched out with this magistrate, and he won't even respond back to her. And she just continues to lie, and no one does anything about it. They just let her lie. She filed 2 false reports at a minimum. She may have filed more. She committed felonies. But officers in Williamson County avoid that office like the plague, guys. Do you know how many people they're letting go? You know how many people they're not arresting who need to go to jail? I don't know if Franklin does this because Franklin does a very good job at arresting people for DUI. Franklin they're a beast at DUIs. I don't know if I know many Franklin officers, and I know quite a few. I don't know if I know many that would call a ride for somebody who's driving intoxicated. Williamson County does it. Spring Hill does it. Fairview does it. About the only agency in Williamson County that is pretty much a guarantee to arrest you if you're intoxicated is THB. But even they hate going in that office. Guys, people are getting away with crimes. They are not going to jail when they need to because law enforcement just does not want to go in that office. And I don't blame them. I didn't either. Every time we would go up there with a case, it was just blatant disrespect, incompetence. They had no clue what was going on. It was ridiculous ego. Even when they were wrong, they would say, well, it's my decision. I'm not giving it to you. Okay, I've got 3 ounces of fentanyl here, which could kill hundreds of people. And you just want to give me a simple possession warrant? We know he's selling it. We've bought dope off of him. But that's the type of crap we deal with. They don't know, a lot of them don't know the law. They don't know how to interpret the law. They don't have any training, and they're incompetent. They hate cops. They keep score on how many warrants they can deny. They don't protect domestic violence victims. I'm going to get off my soapbox. That's for another video. But I appreciate you guys watching. Once again, in closing, I'm going to put up the email to the county commission. If you see this video, send an email, guys. Ask them about this. Let them know that you saw proof of this and she's still employed at the Juvenile Justice Center doing the same thing. Ask them why. I don't care if they put her in the kitchen. That's what they did with Tim Cotton whenever he got caught stealing time, sleeping on duty. But at least they're not in positions of public trust. They're no longer putting their signatures on warrants and finding probable cause and being responsible for people's lives, safety, and freedom. So send those emails, guys. You can't be silent anymore. At least here in Williamson County, you can't be silent anymore. You have someone who has served in the system. I was a law enforcement officer for almost 10 years, guys. Not only did I work on the street as a patrol officer, I was a canine handler in the narcotics unit. I spent a little time in the human trafficking task force. And I also worked as a jailer at Murray County. So I understand the inner workings of the system. I appreciate your support. Appreciate you checking out the video. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. And send those emails. Start raising hell, guys. It's the only way things are going to change. See you in the next video.